What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Todd Scooty back with another reaction video, and today we got another Law and Crime Network body cam footage video for y'all. This one is called "Little Girl Found Lifeless in Desert After Years of Torture." Rest in peace to this little girl. Rest in peace. I don't got nothing else to say other than that until we find out the monster who did this.
They found her in the wash. Okay, and she's been unresponsive.
We didn't know where else to take her. There's no hospital near here. They're like smack dab right between here that's it. All right.
Having her on that hot asphalt, that poor baby. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. You know that asphalt's probably hot as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, couldn't let a blanket down, let her lay on the car seat or something.
Newly released body cam footage offers a chilling glimpse into the moments first responders discovered 10-year-old Rebecca Baptiste
10 years old, bro,
in the Arizona desert. Her father, Richard Baptiste, his girlfriend, Anicia Woods, they now face first-degree murder charges as prosecutors allege that
not in Arizona. No, not in Arizona. I did not know that shit was Arizona. This poor baby, that is a death sentence. Taking a even before the torture, taking a 10-year-old out to the middle of the desert in Arizona and leaving them, bro, I hope they do everything possible to you in prison. I hope they do everything possible. Like, I can't even think of it. I can't fathom it because this itself is such a heinous offense that in no way would that have even turned out good.
For years of severe abuse and neglect, including physical injuries, malnutrition, signs of sexual abuse, making this scene even more horrifying. We are going to break down the footage that captures the tense, frantic attempts to save this little girl's life and the harrowing questioning of her parents as they struggle to explain how she ended up in the desert alive one moment.
And those are her parents. Those were her parents.
And tragically gone the next.
Yeah, everything.
Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime.
Poor little girl.
I'm Jesse Weber. We are revisiting an incredibly heartbreaking case that we have covered here on Sidebar. If you followed us, you're going to remember this one. How could you not? Earlier this month, we shared the devastating story of 10-year-old Rebecca Baptiste, a young girl that prosecutors say suffered years of abuse and neglect before her tragic death in July. And prosecutors say this is all at the hands of her own caretakers. Her father, 32-year-old Richard Baptiste, and his girlfriend, 29-year-old Anicia Woods, are now facing first-degree murder charges after Rebecca was found unresponsive near a highway in Holbrook, Arizona.
Oh, my bad.
Now, to recap,
bro, my bad,
prosecutors allege
bro, my
that
day's been pretty good, bro.
was
How's your
severely
been?
Dehydrated, malnourished, missing toenails, bore injury.
Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. They pulled her toenails off. They pulled her fucking toenails off. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Y'all, when I saw torture, we've seen cases of abuse. We've seen cases of long-standing abuse, and that makes no difference as well. Rest in peace to the kids that lost their lives to that as well, or to the therapy and peace they need from here on out. I'm praying for them. They tortured this little girl. She was missing toenails. That's not... Oh my gosh.
That they say were the result of physical abuse, sexual abuse, prolonged torture. In fact, Law and Crime obtained a 33-page incident report from the Navajo County Sheriff's Office detailing law enforcement's interactions with Richard Baptiste and Anicia Woods, along with graphic documentation of the injuries that prosecutors allege stemmed from sustained abuse. And we covered that report in detail in a previous episode. If you want to check it out, if you want to learn a little bit more, it's up on Law and Crime's YouTube page. But back on July 27th,
So it was what? Oh my gosh, bro. Fuck. You're saying think the other torture video was the first half of this? Well, they normally do too. I'm gonna come back to this real quick. YouTube, if y'all want to skip over 10 seconds, you can. Let me look at this real quick. We're at 225. They did say the first one was the first half, but the reason why we normally do two is because this one right here is gonna be the 911 call, the interrogation, and then the court processing. I'm pretty sure. Basically, where they mainly talk about everything she went through. Where this one right here is all body cam. So this takes us through the actual situation in which she was found. And oh my gosh, this shit's absolutely sad.
Handling law enforcement's interactions with in detail in a previous episode. If you want to check it out, if you want to learn a little bit more, it's up on Law and Crime's YouTube page. But back on July 27th, Woods apparently made a chilling 911 phone call, pleading for help as they rushed this girl toward town. And on the line with dispatchers, Woods explained that the family lived in the desert and was racing Rebecca into Holbrook.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
So they lived in the desert. So she wasn't found in the desert. They lived in the desert. Now, I feel like they felt so whatever to call the police, because I believe, and obviously, you know, this is just an assumption for now until we figure out a little bit more. I really believe that they took her life at the house, or they did too much to her, because these motherfuckers are so sick. They always do just enough to where they can still survive, you know, and that's so sad, you know. But I'm thinking that while they were at the house, they did too much. They realized it, and then they said, "Fuck! Now we gotta call. We gotta get people back, or else." You know what I mean? You get my drift.
What's the location?
We're on I-80 headed towards Holbrook. It's my daughter. She's with us. We live out in the desert, and we're calling to Holbrook to the EMS station.
Investigators say that Rebecca had run away multiple times before that day, and this time a neighbor found her unresponsive in the desert.
She ran away for the third time in a week in the desert, and when the neighbor found her in the wash, she was unresponsive completely. And by the time she got back to the house, she was barely breathing, so I'm breathing for her now. She's unresponsive, unconscious.
This poor baby. Never mind. I was far from the truth. She was trying to run away from her family multiple times. They lived in the fucking desert. You know what the fuck they were doing. They lived in the fucking desert, and she tried to run away multiple times. And now the neighbor found her malnourished after she had ran away and took her back to the place she ran away from. We don't hear anything about the neighbor calling the police yet. So until we hear that, I'm gonna go ahead and say fuck the neighbor. You know, if it comes out later that the neighbor called the police and said, "Hey, you know, y'all need to go check this out," I'll take this back. But you mean to tell me you saw a 10-year-old little girl run away in the middle of nowhere, malnourished as fuck, and the first thing you do is take her back where she came from? Nah, nigga, we calling the police. I don't care if your parents get mad. You're in the middle of the desert, you know?
Unable to breathe for herself.
Is she breathing?
I'm breathing for her.
What do you mean?
I am putting my mouth around hers and breathing in her breath. Yes.
Dispatchers, they urged Woods to pull over and wait for EMS.
I need you to pull over so that I can page him out to you and we can start CPR.
Would it be easier if is it going to be faster if we just keep going? Because we're almost to Holbrook.
I understand that. I need you to pull over so I can have EMS meet you.
And moments later, first responders.
And see, I'm sorry, but this is how you know they don't love their kid enough. If I'm on the phone and my kid is losing their life and I'm like, okay, I'm coming to y'all. No, pull over. We'll have EMS there shortly. Bitch, fuck you. Fuck EMS. Actually, I shout out to my EMS members. I've always said that. I mean, in this hypothetical situation. Because you're not finna tell me while my baby's dying as I'm driving to a hospital to just sit there and pull over until EMS gets there. Bitch, I will wait till I get there. I'll take her to EMS. You know what I mean? I still have my phone up to my ear like I'm doing something. You know what I mean? Hey, bro, making some food. Yes, sir. I'm feeling a little hungry too. But no, that already shows they don't care enough. I don't give a fuck if 911 operator or the president calls himself and says you need to pull over. Nigga, fuck all of y'all. I'm getting to the nearest hospital. You know what I mean? Because in no way is it smart to say, okay, her life is in so much danger right now that you're breathing for her. And you know what? Let's just sit on the side of the road and wait for someone to pull up. And then even when they get there, they still have to get her and then get all the way back to the same hospital. You know what I mean? Like, it's stupid.
Met the couple on the roadside. Wild story. Wild story. I know. This is one, though, that we wanted to bring to you. This is one we want to stay on top of. And the reason we can do this, the reason we can do a deep dive into stories like this is because of the amazing support we get from our sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. This is $26 million. Pennsylvania case is...
Yeah, my car is going to be faster than the ambulance. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, emergency services will come from the nearest hospital because they're trying to get there as quick as possible. Nigga, I promise that trip there and back is way longer than if I just keep going straight. You know what I mean?
Newly released body cam video obtained by Law and Crime is giving us an inside view at that tense encounter. Take a look.
They found her in the wash. Okay, and she's been unresponsive.
We didn't know where else to take her. There's no hospital near here.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is so sad. And I don't even really want to point this out because it's so sad, but look at the bruises all down her leg, y'all. Ever since we saw that video about that little boy that got abused by his parents, I've been taking notice to all these ones, and like, if I'm an officer, this is the first thing I'm looking at. Bruises everywhere. You can see.
I do need to warn you, she has... Who's her parents?
Right here. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, Reed. She's got his parents? She's been unresponsive since the neighbors brought her. He said he found her just laying in the wash, just gasping.
How long ago?
I don't know how long it took us to get here.
I live...
Like maybe 30 minutes to get here?
We live 20 miles east of Petrified Forest.
And you guys didn't call the ambulance?
I was calling and the phone kept dropping. I talked to a sheriff.
There's no reception out there.
It dropped. I told her we were 20 miles east of the Petrified Forest. She's ran 3 times in a week. This time was by far worse.
I was trying to flag somebody down on the side of the road and I thought it was the sheriff, but I don't know. I guess not, because he just looked at me.
When are you beginning CPR?
Copy that 42.
Fortunately, Lucci, the only thing that happened is a police officer getting arrested for that as well. But, you know, these parents are way too fucking quiet. You know, I'm gonna just say it like that. You don't hear them. You don't hear nothing. They're just so fucking quiet.
LT, can you give me some gloves? Can you grab me some gloves, please? Or you want to take over and I'll grab some?
First responders, they tried desperately to revive this little girl, and they pressed Baptiste and Woods for answers, asking how long she had been unconscious and why CPR hadn't started sooner.
How long has it been since she's been responsive?
Exactly.
No, she ran away and they found her in the dirt. We only know for as long as that he got her on the quad and gave her to
I'm not
us.
getting any signs.
Where were you guys at?
We live
east of Petrified Forest, and we're like 20 minutes
So
in.
you're in Apache County?
Yeah, I believe so. We just moved here at the start of the month, so I'm still kind of getting the.
She was involved in an accident?
No, she ran away. She's on medications. And she hasn't been on these medications in about a month because we've been moving.
Okay.
And then she
all right.
ran.
Hold on a second.
I'm sorry, it's outside.
Now, especially since I was younger and I watched the whole Gypsy Rose case, what's really clicking in my head is she's been off her meds for a month, and within that month, she's tried to run away 3 times. So what meds are they giving her to just dumb her down and accept everything that's going on? Because obviously once she stopped taking it, she's like, bro, I need to get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, bro, these sick, fucked up parents right here found their daughter out in the middle of the desert because their neighbor found her in a washer, is what they're saying. Completely bruised up, completely abused. Later on, they find out that she's had toenails removed. Everything from SA to just abuse of the most heinous degree. One that a child should not be going through, especially from parents. And now we're finding out that they're trying to make her seem crazy. They're trying to make this little girl seem crazy by saying, oh, well, she hasn't been on her meds and she's tried to run away 3 times. Yeah, she's finally sober to know what the fuck you're all doing and she's trying to get away. You know what I mean? And I don't mean sober as in she's getting high off drugs, but y'all know the prescriptions, those meds, they fucks with your brain. It fucks with your brain chemistry, y'all. Fake as fuck, bro.
What happened, guys?
Ran away. And when they found her, this is how she was.
Now she gonna start bringing in this sad voice as soon as more people start pulling up. The fuck are you talking about?
How long?
We don't know.
It's been at
In the
least 30
Nevada, I mean
minutes.
Arizona.
It took us like 30 minutes. Just
Arizona.
To get here.
Okay.
Arizona desert though. Regardless, the desert, hot as
I
fuck.
think she's been down a while, but we'll just work in a rig, yeah.
I didn't know where else to take her. I didn't know where the close places
Yeah.
was.
Here, let's just grab it.
Like smack dab right between here, Concho, and that's it.
Crocodile tears as fuck, bro.
As first responders rush Rebecca to a waiting truck for treatment, officers then turn their focus on her father. They press Richard Baptiste about the timeline, how neighbors found this girl in the desert, and why she was already unresponsive when she was brought home.
How long has it been since you found her unresponsive?
We don't know. The neighbor.
For us, it's 30.
When did the neighbor bring her?
It's 11:48. It had to have been probably close to 11. At least 30. At least 30.
50 minutes this little girl has been unresponsive.
What's your neighbor's name?
I don't know. I just moved out here. Most of the people that I know are relatives of my uncle who died. So I'm still getting used to the people.
Whose child is that?
It's fine.
Is that hers too?
No, that's my girlfriend.
Did you get her ID?
No.
Her name's Rebecca.
I gotta get her ID.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about that.
You guys might have been closer to Concho.
We didn't know Concho had a facility that would be able to
Right.
handle
Well,
this.
EMS would be closer.
That's what I was hauling ass to, was the EMS center down there, past the overpass.
What's a good phone number for you?
and she's been running away for the last like 3 or 4 weeks since we've been here.
Okay.
She ran away this morning. We went out and tried to find her, and our neighbor found her.
What time this morning?
We got up about 9:30, so it would have been close to 10:30.
So you guys saw her the night before?
Yeah. We
Okay.
we all sleep in the same building.
Okay. And then, so you said she ran around that morning, and you guys were trying to find her?
This morning.
This morning, yeah.
This morning, yeah.
And you guys went out trying to find her, and then your neighbors found her?
Neighbor found her, yeah.
Okay, what were they doing down there? How'd they find her?
They were on quads.
They were on their quads, okay. And then they brought her to you
Yeah.
at your house?
Yeah. Well, it's technically was my great uncle's. He died recently, so we moved in there.
Okay.
So that's kind of how people know us up there.
Did she have any signs of life when she got brought to you?
She was almost basically like this. She was slightly responsive. She was still breathing on her own.
What do you, explain to me what you mean responsive?
Like she was just breathing on her own.
Breathing on her own?
But that was about
Okay.
it. And then as we were driving this way, started seeing color change in her lips, and we were just hauling it.
Okay, you said she,
Yeah, she got that when she was in Phoenix.
okay.
She ran away.
Did you guys take her to get treated for it?
Yes, she has a primary care, and then she also did a 7-day stay down in Phoenix.
Okay.
And you know, I never want to, and obviously I say there are the exceptions where some kids just, you know, kids are, I'm not going to say kids are being kids, but sometimes they do have thoughts going through that the parents can't control. The fact that this little 10-year-old girl was trying to run away from home, they had her put on meds, and then they even induced her to a 7-day stay at like a psychiatric ward is maybe what I'm guessing is what he's saying. Little kids don't go to no psychiatric ward for no reason. Let's be real. Let's be real. And the most heartbreaking part about it is I'm starting to think, what if, and I'm not even starting to think, I've been this way since the start of this vid. There's a lot of cases that kids are acting crazy. That's why they need to go to these psych wards and get put on these meds. But what if these fuck-ass parents have just been lying to make her seem crazy so they can put her on all these meds, and when she's still acting crazier, they gotta just put her in a psychiatric ward, you know? Make her seem even more crazy.
Not for that, but just for a prior incident.
Okay. And explain to me what you're going through. You said she's diagnosed with what? Can you explain that to me? Okay.
She was on 3 different medications before we left. I can't remember the third one right now. But it's been a little bit since she's been on her medication since we moved up here.
While paramedics worked on Rebecca, officers also turned their attention to the other children, sitting quietly in the...
Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's another red flag. As a parent, you don't know what type of meds your kid takes. Like, I get if you don't know the exact name, but, you know, for example, you go into the hospital and then, like, they're asking if they have any allergies or something like that. You need to know. Or does she already take what type of medicine? What type of medicine does she take? Make sure they don't give her anything that counteracts it. You don't know what type of meds she takes, and you said she's been on them for years.
back of a patrol vehicle, they described to police what they saw that morning.
Hi guys. You guys doing okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? So what happened today?
Today she ran away.
She ran away?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then she came back home.
Okay.
No, they aren't foster parents. The dad is her biological dad, and then the other girl is his girlfriend. You at least give a funny version of the name. Yeah, exactly that. Nigga, I don't care if you can't pronounce it. This isn't med class. I don't care. I'm not trying to give you a prescription yourself, you know? I don't give a fuck. You know, like, dude, just tell protozoan, whatodon, dododon, what are the zones? You know what I mean? Like, you just say some shit.
When she came back home, how did that? So, did mom and dad bring her home?
No, well, one of our neighbors in there, they saw them laying, they saw her laying down on the ground.
Now, what I really want to watch for now is if they were abusing one kid, the other one definitely knew about it or he gets abused too. So what I'm going to really watch for is how the parents are sort of helicoptering over this boy. You know, you'll notice in a lot of scenarios in abusive households, especially when officers or anyone talks to the kids. Exactly. And that's why they need to do that. She was coming back acting like she just needed to get something out the car. Bitch, you ain't get something out the car the whole time you been here. Now you need to go as soon as the cop's trying to ask your son a question. Get the fuck out of here. But watch, she's helicoptering as fuck.
And then they brought her back home.
Oh,
Look at that shit.
they brought her home.
That dumb bitch. She didn't even need to fill it up with water. I'm exposing her. That's why I'm saying this. Look at the bottle. These are one of those bottles you can see the water through the fucking back. She went in there to fill the water up just as an excuse to get close and probably overhear what the fuck's going on. I want y'all to see this shit. Look at this.
They saw them laying.
Is that not one of those bottles that does that?
And then they brought her back home.
See, and I might be gassing that, but she barely filled that shit up.
Okay. All right. What's your name? How do you spell that? What's your last name, Craig?
Baptiste.
Okay, like your dad? Okay. You know when you were born? No?
Look at her. Get the fuck away. You see her keep coming back over and over and over. Like, nigga, leave them alone.
And what's your name? Can you spell that? And is your same last name? Okay, how old are you? 6?
And as detectives continue their questioning, they are pressing these adults on her care, on her schooling, her history of running away. Both Richard Baptiste and Anicia Woods, they describe these past incidents, including times that the 10-year-old had even apparently jumped from windows to escape.
How old is she?
She's 10.
Definitely don't need to have kids.
We haven't set that up yet.
No school yet?
No, we were trying to get her either into Concho.
Who's her primary care?
So I just had him switched over to.
How long ago?
That was about 2 weeks ago, but her former one, his name is.
Hang on just a second. Who did she see over?
I'm sorry, what?
Where was she? Who was she seeing? Do you know the doctor's name?
She hasn't. They haven't had their. None of them have their initial appointment.
They haven't been in there yet?
No.
So who's the last doctor she's seen and been treated by? Spell that.
As soon as
I'm gonna need a number for him anyway, so.
Yeah, here, let me look it up.
Okay.
Assisted breathing.
Alright, ma'am. So walk me through what happened today.
We were outside starting the morning. Before I can get waters in the bottles, she went running off again.
Okay, you saw her run off?
No, she
Oh, okay.
disappears. We have them play in the yard, and she was supposed to go stand in the shade and go wait for me, because that's where we've been keeping her, to be outside, because she can't be trusted in the building, because she gets there. There's knives, there's weapons, there's everything.
Okay.
So I had her stand.
This bitch is stupid. oh, we can't have her in the house because all the stuff that's in the house. So I just leave her outside. Even though she has a history of running away.
Getting outside, I turned around to go grab waters for bottles, and she was gone.
Okay. Was she complaining of any pain, any sickness, anything like that
Well,
today?
she's been complaining of a headache.
A headache?
Ever since she ran away the first day, she's been complaining of a headache.
Okay, this is frequently running away lately?
It's 3 times in less than 2 weeks.
She actually ran away a week before we moved out here. So
Yeah, she actually jumped out the window. I was
Exactly.
telling the other officer over there in the beige that she, just before we came up here, I didn't tell him about what he was bringing up. My dad brought up, she just ran away before we came up here. That one was super scary. She kicked out a screen and jumped out
How long ago was
the
that?
second store window.
It was
a week before we moved here.
It was
Okay.
the last week of June.
So it sounds like there's been a history of behavioral issues?
Yes, he was asking me if she had a history. She's had this long history of running away.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
But the thing is, what is she running away from? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be real. You gotta be needing to feel real danger to jump out of a fucking window to escape. I promise, even as a kid, whenever I would fuck around and do the little, I'm running away. Nigga, I would never jump out a fucking window. You know what I mean? Like, unless I really needed to.
Exactly where, do you know where they're going? Because
LCMC. Little Colorado Medical Center in Winslow.
Will one of you guys be able to like, we follow someone that way where we don't know the
Either that or
area?
I can just Google it.
Yeah, I'll get you the address.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you can Google now where to go, but you couldn't Google the nearest fucking place whenever you needed it? Y'all said y'all couldn't get service, but you had enough service to get the call established, but then when y'all were driving, it cut out. So you had time to go ahead and see, not even time, you had the ability to see where the nearest med center was. But now, after she's already lost her life, let's be real, you want to use Google to find out where this shit's at. Okay, fucking stupid ass.
This area.
Are they going to LCMC?
Most likely, unless they got a pulse.
Exactly. You're able to ride with your kid in the ambulance too. Not one of them is talking about riding with her.
They? Good.
I noticed when he had handed her to us that bulge in her chest, and that was making me afraid of. I didn't even think to start CPR. I just thought, let me keep breathing for her and let's just go.
Okay.
This gotta be the stupidest shit I've fucking heard. You mean to tell me she said, I didn't start CPR, so I just breathed for her. If you're just blowing breaths into the mouth, it's not gonna do shit. You need the combination of CPR plus that to get anything going. You gotta get the blood flowing. That way, whenever it starts flowing all through the body, and then she starts breathing, it can get oxygenated. If you're not even compressing her chest, you're just blowing air into her. These fucked up parents were so abusive to this little girl. She has gone through so much processes of just trying to run away, escape, and then finally she tried to escape into the desert, and it's in the middle of Arizona. We don't even know how she passed because it was much more, of course. But let's just get back into it. They are fucking monsters.
But I was telling that officer she has a long history of no like physical health conditions, but it's mental health. For like the last 3 years,
Has she been seeing a provider for her mental health?
We took her to Taros. She was seeing a psychiatrist there that put her on
Taros?
medications. Taros. Terros.
Who's the doctor?
It was starts with a K, but it's yes, ma'am.
With a
K. Last name is K.
And you don't know your daughter's doctor either? What the fuck is up with you? You're lying. You're lying like shit. You're not gonna sit here and tell me you don't know the meds she's on, that she's been on for 3 years. You don't know the doctor that she's had for the last 3 years. Thank y'all. Y'all are bringing my mood up a little bit in this fucked up time. This shit's actually pissing me off because nothing they say is making sense, and it gets that way when you're guilty as fuck. Nothing you say makes sense.
Okay.
Yes.
And then where was that?
It's in Phoenix, so there's multiple
Hey,
offices.
this gonna
but
be a
it's
short.
one
This gonna be a shorter stream just because of that, bro. I'm already tired, low key.
How long did she see them?
She's been seeing them for like 2.5 years. Since we first had an incident, we basically took her there.
And here's the thing.
2.5
As
years.
the questioning continues, officers learn this isn't the first time state agencies have been involved. The parents admit that this little girl had prior DCS cases, including time spent on a psychiatric hold, and that custody had only recently been returned.
Going to Little Colorado, I think it's like 15
Hey, real shit, Jay.
in Winslow right now until they can get a medical air back. And if she gets air back, they'll probably take her to Flagstaff. And then Flagstaff, they may or may not take her down to Phoenix. So
Children for Phoenix Children's.
Yeah, so I would just follow up with the hospitals. That'll be the fastest route to figure that out.
And that's where I was telling you. I told
Gotta
you the
keep
first
grinding,
time
bro.
that she ran away. She was taken over to Phoenix Children's Hospital and she ended up on a 7-day hold, a psychiatric hold. She has a long history with running to DCS and making up stories of her brothers.
So there has been DCS cases, but
Making up stories about her brother. How much you want to bet she's trying to save her brother? Her brother's 6 years old. She was 10 years old. And she, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the only reason she kept going back was to save her brother. Good evening, y'all. This is so sad. Hey, maybe, bro, maybe. And that's the point, too. It's so sad that they really just put her into a psychiatric hold. And she said that she's made up stories about her brother and stuff. So she's told these stories before. And this is when you just get to the point and you realize how fucked the system is and how fucked she was. You know what I mean? Like, I feel so bad for her because she never had any hope. The second, and I could talk out my ass because I'm not in that position. You know, I'll be real. But if I see parents coming in and they're trying to get, hey, what's up, y'all? If they're trying to get their daughter on these meds, I'm first, you know, like, why does she need these meds? Let's find out. And then finds out that she's lying about stuff about her brother. I need to hear what she's saying. Because I bet 9 times out of 10, yeah, of course, ask that question, bro. I'll hit you on in just a second. If y'all saw it right around this point right here at 15 minutes, the officer was talking to the 6-year-old boy and she kept helicoptering over. Because in these abusive relationships, these kids, even if the police are there, they are not going to talk about what their parents are doing because 9 times out of 10 they might get sent back to their parents, you know. So they're just like, oh, I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to get in trouble. So I wouldn't be surprised if all the times they talked around her parents. You know what I mean? Maybe on the psychiatric hold they kept her, but at that time in the psychiatric hold, they really don't listen to anyone like that, you know? And that's why I feel so bad for her. She really had no chance. Rest in peace to her. Fuck them. I hope they get buried under the jail. Solitary confinement for the rest of their lives, for real.
before?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, Josh, ask that question whenever you need, bro. I got
Okay,
you.
who is your caseworker?
No, there is none now.
Well, there what? Who
Low
was?
IXL Sala?
There was multiple. The last one was transferred to a different division.
When was the last time you had contact with them?
The case was closed May. End
May of this year?
May of last year.
Last year?
That's when we got our youngest back.
Okay.
Now, isn't it some kind of fucking coincidence? Isn't it some kind of fucking coincidence that after all this shit goes down and after they just get their kids back? Because as y'all know, if y'all don't know, whenever it comes into DCS or like child protective services and stuff like that, after the first instance, of course, they're going to keep checking on those kids. They're going to keep checking it out, right? As soon as they got their kids back, they booked it to a whole other place in the middle of the desert. That shit's fishy as fuck. That shit is fishy as fuck. The second I'm her doctor and I'm taking care of her and I hear these parents finally get her back, and then they just jet off to the middle of nowhere, I'm calling police right then, bro. Yo, y'all send out some shit. Find out what's going on. You know, you're a small editor. If you give me something random to edit and make it, bet. Shit. Let me think on that. I'm gonna think on what it is. Gibby, what happened? These fucked up parents just tortured their little girl in all ways imaginable and even unimaginable ways. It's so sad. Let me think on something though, Josh.
When the official case was closed, her case was closed about a year before that.
Do a Wimby edit, a Wimbenyama edit.
Case was open. ECS kept having new cases open because Rebecca would go to school and had all these different allegations.
Who has kids just to hurt them? You gotta think. Some of these motherfuckers are so sick in the head that they probably got bullied as a kid, or they probably got abused as a kid. You know what I mean? That's the same shit they might even try and use in court, right? Bet, bro. A lot of these people have kids because they think that their kid is at least, you know, a lot of people think they'll have a kid that's gonna be like them or be a kid that they like. You know what I mean? You're not always gonna like your kid in the same way as you're not always gonna like your parent. You know what I mean? And let me say this. It doesn't mean that you can't love them, right? Let's not say that. But there are tons of cases when you can get in the future and then, like, a lot of people say, oh, no, I don't really like my family. I love them, though, obviously. But there are people that are so sick in the mind that think that if they have a kid, they could really mold and do whatever they want to that kid. You know, some people think that, oh, until you're 18, I get all rights over you. And they think that they could really do shit like this. You know what I mean? That they get off on that shit.
To not only her therapist but to the DCS workers was that,
and then to make her sound crazy,
markings. Like she had bruises on her hands and her arms, and they took pictures and thought Rebecca had told her that we had done it, and it was her way to try to get taken out. The first time she ran away, she told us that she didn't want to live here. She was just trying to leave, but we explained to her, everyone explained to her the dangers that come with this. She did. She ran away like 3 days after that, and then now this. But she's been complaining of headaches since the first day, and basically dehydrated ever since the first day. I was telling him her mouth has been really bad since the first day.
Okay, I need to talk with him real quick. So who's the biological mother?
Her name is Sandy Hawkins.
Spell that.
Sandi. And then Hawkins is Hawkins.
Hawk what?
INS.
Okay, where's she live?
No idea. She's a drug addict.
Okay, where's the last place you know of her being?
She was in Phoenix, and it was some apartment complex off of, I don't even remember the name of it.
The cross and the clouds in the back. You know what? That's definitely a sign. I don't know if y'all are religious or not, but that is definitely a sign that the Lord is finna make sure that they get the punishment they deserve. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is watching over that little girl. She's there. And however you may believe it, that's just what I like to think, because especially in cases like this, where this little girl was taken from this earth way too soon by the people that were supposed to take care of her, love her the most. And not even in the craziest way, in the craziest way. Not even in an accidental way, though. In the craziest way, from torture. They were pulling her toenails off. They were beating her and bruising her down. Bro, everyone involved, doctors, psychiatrics, everyone from CPS, they all need to lose their fucking job. They all need to lose their fucking job. Because you mean to tell me a little girl, bruises all down the arm. Bro, I know y'all saw it. As I told y'all earlier, whenever they were doing CPR, if you looked at her legs, you saw bruises all down her leg. Bruises all down her arm, all down her leg. And she's saying, please, my parents do this to me. I don't want to go back home. And then the parents come and tell y'all, oh, she's crazy. She tries to run away all the time. And you're like, oh, yeah, the parents are right. I hope, and you know, I really mean this because I hope all those workers go to sleep every night and see this little girl's face. See this little girl's face and know that they ended her life just as easily as these parents did. They were neglectful. You're put in those positions to take care of kids. You're put in the position of CPS to take care of kids in cases that they're being abused at their homes. So then whenever they're telling you they're being abused, but their parents are telling them they're not, you're gonna fucking believe the parents. And I bet no deeper investigations went into it either.
Has she been in the little girl's life at any point, visiting, anything like that?
She stopped coming to visits.
About 2.5, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you have a number for her?
No.
Is there a way to get a hold of her?
So she also stopped coming into contact with her kid whenever her kid started getting medicated. Do y'all see how everything they say all goes back to 2.5 years ago? So let me say this. This baby girl was 10. She was 10 years old. So at the point of 7.5 years old, they got her heavily medicated, off 3 different meds. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes people only get 1 type, 2, maybe 3. They had her off 3 different meds, put her in a psych ward for 7 days, and abused the fuck out of her. And then the last time they heard from her mom was around that same time too. And then also the fact that they don't remember any of the doctors' names. This nigga don't even remember the meds she takes. You know? And it's like, you see all of this, I promise, I know the cops got to get information down just to get it, but you'd have to stop me from the first 5 seconds from arresting these bitches, bro.
Assume Facebook Messenger. I don't have contact with her.
Do you know her date of birth by any chance?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you know Sandy's date of birth?
Very recent.
How long has it been since mom's been involved, you said?
2.5 years.
2 years?
2.5, maybe 3.
Do you have full custody? How's that go?
So I just got the kids back and I've been working on getting full custody.
Okay, so you guys, between you and her, you have shared right now?
Only through whatever legal standpoint that is.
Okay.
I just don't have time.
Yeah, her mom was coming to visit Hyde, and DCS basically told us don't do visits if she's gonna be like that. We'll take care of them, and she never did them.
Okay.
And then she never showed up to any courts, never did drug testing, never did anything. So I let bygones be bygones, essentially.
Okay.
Well, technically, you're not supposed to, I understand.
And you know what? You know what it was? And this is why, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all have a kid, and this is what I mean too. I'm never going to judge people for their outlets, their vices, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say go and get drunk all day or go and do this, that, and the third. But that is your choice. I'm not going to judge you. I'm just going to give whatever recommendation I can. I'm definitely going to fucking judge you whenever you have a kid. Because I'm going to look at it like this. This mother probably knew that this kid was getting abused. This mother probably knew this kid was getting abused. And then whenever it came to court, she knew that deep down she couldn't do anything because this nigga would just point out how she's a drug addict in court. He'll be like, give her a piss test. You know what I mean? Hey, don't judge me. I'm going to be... And I know y'all will. 9 times out of 10, the people in here that I'm talking to, y'all are all tapped into that same type of mindset. It's actually the dad. No, yeah, it actually is the dad. No, I know. It's the dad too. But the mother being, because they're talking about the biological mother, and the biological mother being an addict. And I'll say I've seen in a lot of cases, Scooty, when you go make me an uncle, bro, hey, we still got years until that happens, bro. We got to get in our bag before that happens. But I can see him telling her, oh, the court's not going to give you shit when they find out you're still doing drugs, da 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 da. And that's probably why she just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Because they said she was talking up until 2.5 years ago. They also put her on meds 2.5 years ago. If the mom was like, why the fuck are you putting her on meds? And then this nigga's like, mind your fucking business, or else I'm just going to tell them that you're all off on drugs. That's probably what he told the courts too. whenever it came to getting meds, they probably told the psychiatrist, oh, her mother was crazy too. Come on, bro.
We don't ever do this. We tried calling you guys from...
That's a good phone number for you? Yeah. Okay, I called Apache County just to notify them. So they're supposed to be calling me back, and then I'll get your information and stuff like that. So,
Bro, L's in the chat for these niggas, bro. L dad, L stepmom.
Is there like any...
email.
Is
You guys
this...
can take my email too.
Just because I don't know out here, is this really the only way? Like, it's just call 911 and hope that the signal keeps going? Because we just kept losing the call the whole way up here.
Well, you should probably, when you get back home or something like that, just look at what's closer. Not necessarily, I mean, you could have called
Wow.
out there, EMS could have met you way out there.
I hope y'all have a good night as well, bro. Thank y'all.
Something like that, yeah. And I understand, you guys are doing what you can, okay? But we'll let you guys get out of here and get to the hospital, okay?
So let's go to the Little Colorado Medical Center if you want to look it up on your phone.
Okay? So let's just get there safely, okay? Seatbelts and just just try and get there for your daughter, okay?
Thanks. Drive safe.
Now, in the end, medical professionals determined that 10-year-old Rebecca Baptiste suffered catastrophic brain damage from bleeding and swelling, no detectable brain activity. She was placed.
You know what? I was even gonna say it. After hearing this part, I was almost sure the whole video, ever since this bitch has been talking about fucking her headache. She said, oh, she's had a headache for like the last 3 days. She kept trying to run away. They probably beat her so bad, she got a headache from that shit. That's why her brain had swelled over so much. She had probably got so much internal brain bleeding from however bad they beat her that she was telling them how bad she was hurting. I have a headache. I have a headache. And it makes sense. It makes sense because she ran away 3 times. And on the 3rd time is whenever she came back unresponsive. It seems like her being out in the desert wasn't the issue. It was the fact that she had brain bleeds. She had internal bleeding, internal swelling in her head. And I want to let y'all know that shit don't happen for no reason. You don't fall off a bed and hit your head and get that. You don't. Bro, that is multiple hits to the fucking head. My fucking gosh, bro.
On life support until she died on July 30th. Following the investigation, Woods, Baptiste, they now face murder and child abuse charges in connection with Rebecca's death, and they're scheduled for a preliminary hearing on September 4th in Apache County. That's all we have for.
Rest in peace, y'all. And for all of y'all new, hey, for everyone new in here, I want y'all to know they didn't explain the part that really fucked my mind up the most. And for any of y'all know that just the extents this goes, when they found her, they realized that her toenails, some of her toenails had been taken off. Some of her toenails had been taken off of her feet by torture. You can't do it without intent. You have to intentionally do it to create that. Yeah. Rest in peace to this poor little girl. It's absolutely sad that this fucking happened. Oh my gosh. YouTube, if you want to watch any more reaction videos like this, or if y'all want to go to the channel itself, shout out to Law and Crime Network. But like, subscribe. I appreciate y'all, and I'll catch y'all later.